What's up, guys? This is EDN Ruins Advanced Mode. We outgear this 10 to 1, so we're going to go ahead and show you guys how the best way to do this. So you got that Warcry. The best situation for that Warcry is that your tank continues to move towards the center or towards the... Okay, so marker typically will go in the center, tank will go one way. When he does his 1,000 blades or 1,000 cuts, whichever move it is, he will then transfer himself, your tank will then transfer themselves to the opposite side of the boss. Okay, there you go. So when he does this, then the tank will then rotate to where he is on the other side of the boss, so that he's knocking it back to where the boss stays close to middle as possible. He will be dropping some blades later that will have actually spawn minions. We don't mess with them because we outgear it, but for the most part you want to kill those extremely fast. Those will be shown. So as you've seen, you've already seen a few of the guy's moves. He's got the Warcry where he throws everybody back, as he's doing now. That is where your healers want to be on point, just to make sure. You do want a decent resistance for this raid, so that you don't get one-shotted. Alright, so now you got the 1,000 cuts, or 100 cuts, my bad. He'll send that out, killing anybody that stays within it. Alright, so here, we always found that instead of hiding behind the pillars, it was actually a lot easier to stack and take the damage and heal through. But at that point, definitely, if you have to, go hide behind the pillars so that you don't die if you're squishy, or if you're running this at gear score or at level. This is old world content, so I don't expect a lot of people will be running this too much, except for the newer servers. Alright, so as you see there, he does have the blades down. So you got the enchanted blade soul. Just down those. When they do die, they drop like this little lava on the ground. Just avoid that. Kite the boss accordingly. Okay, then right here you have two people that have been marked with blade. The biggest thing with those people marked with blade is that they just run to the outsides. Just get away from everybody else. Don't stack the blades on top of each other. If you don't kill the ads fast enough, the ads will debuff you. And in that debuff, the more ads that are up, the higher the debuff is. One ad is okay, so as you got right there, one ad you can handle. 2 ads, 3 ads, you're looking at a wipe for running this at level. Okay, 2 people have been marked with Shadow Blade. They just gotta make sure that they're not stacking within each other, and yet they still are. But again, we are way out leveling. So as you see right there, he will be dropping the blades instantly. He does do this devastating blast or devastating smash directly on top of one of your tanks. If your tank's on the squishier end, your tank's dead. It's the easiest way to say it. Your tank will be dead. So make sure that your tank is beefy. There's no need to be rotating tanks for this. So one main tank with a slight off tank is good. The main thing that you want is you want a main tank with a single target taunt, and you want an off tank, battle mage, the vanguards, guardians, someone that has the AoE taunts. You want them to be on your ads. So what we normally do is we would have your battle mage or guardian, vanguard, whatever, would stand next to boss. All the ads would move, to your healers and stuff, because they're the ones that would take initial aggro of them, and everybody would come stack tight on the boss. When all the ads got there, your AoE tank would cast his AoE taunt, and when doing that, would take aggro of the boss too. When he has aggro of all the ads, then your main tank would take aggro back from him, and the off tank would then lead the ads over to a different marker. So as you see right here, we've got these 3 markers down. Typically, they'd be close to the middle, but say here is where you're tanking the boss. You're going to want to keep him close to this. Warcry, 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 100 cuts. You'll then swap sides and just go to the opposite side of the boss. Kind of rinse and repeat thing. Well, then the thing is over here, though, with the boss, you want to take the ads off on the sides. So you'll bring the ads somewhere over in this general area, just kind of off on the left side or right side, whichever way y'all feel comfortable. Just take the ads off to where you're not stacking the ads on top of the boss to where you're having to constantly move and kite the boss, because you do lose a lot of DPS in that with your melee having to constantly move and run around. You've got more little ads here to get to the final boss. So the final boss is, the mechanics of these are literally the same, except you saw the, just one extra thing with the ads there on the first boss. The second boss, it is literally the exact same fight. The only difference to, as normal is what I mean though, the only difference to this down here, this up here, is instead of 2 meteors, there are 4 meteors. So there were a lot of issues with people not being able to see mechanics when this was current. I'm not entirely sure what it's going to be like now, because it's been forever since I've actually been in this raid. But definitely when you actually get to this boss, make sure that you guys know to get on those meteors, and it will be the 2 different colors again with all 4. It will remain to be 2 separate colors of the meteors. You'll have your ice and your fire meteors, so just make sure that you get into the correct meteor, and everybody that has the meteor definitely stacks, because 2 meteors going down wipes you. 1 meteor sometimes you can heal through, depending on how beefy your team is. When he hits about 30%, the boss will do the fire and ice half and half split. You used to be able to just kind of stand in it and not care in the normal phase, which, I mean, that's what we did a lot. We didn't care about it. We just chilled in it. And it worked, but in this one, you don't want to do that. You definitely want to make sure that you get to the correct location so that you're not getting killed, because this one will either freeze you and lock you in a block of ice, or the fire will drop and it will practically kill you. So definitely make sure that you're doing that. But yeah, same mechanics all the way through. Really, as far as I know, wasn't a big change in anything. As you see, we are just burning through this. So you have, okay, there you go. You got the 2 meteors. I have actually been marked with 1, but we don't care, because we are outgearing it. You got your few weaklings that died. Just gathering. Everything is the same as on the original, except the mechanics are a lot more dangerous. more meteors, and that's about it. So there you go. So you got 4 people that are marked with meteors. Inflicted with fire, he's inflicted with ice. Okay, he's inflicted with fire, but he's across the map from where he needs to go. As you saw, like we're running over 200 gear score, and we are taking that much damage just from missing 2 of them. So I do not recommend, current picking that up. Okay, so I was in the ice last time. I will be in the fire this time, but we killed the boss, so it's all good. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of this raid. I don't recommend trying to skirt by it unless you outgear the content like we do. If you're first time clearing, then definitely stick to mechanics.